Welcome to the Crypto Andrew channel. Let's look and see what the markets are doing right now. I just needed to do a quick sound check. Hopefully everyone is having a great, Saturday? And let's kind of see what the Bitcoin market is doing right now. Right now, the Fear and Greed Index is currently coming in at 25 in extreme fear. That's something to take note of. I also want to go over and look at Bookmap. Bookmap, if you are unfamiliar with it, basically shows you where all of the liquidity is lying on Bitcoin. Basically where all of the orders are at in the Bitcoin price. Sorry if I sound stuffed up. I am coming off of a cold. If you guys are new, I appreciate if you guys hit the like and subscribe button. Hit the follow if you guys are on TikTok. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, I appreciate if you guys hit the subscribe and hit the bell notification so you get notified every time I post a video or go live. So if we start on the weekly time frame, you can see we have more liquidity to the downside, around $85,000 to $86,000. The sound looks to be good. And then if you look to the right on the daily time frame, you have more liquidity again at $85,000. Some up here, but again, the biggest blobs are at 85. And again, if you're unfamiliar, you usually go to wherever there is the biggest blobs of liquidity, which right now, I gotta say, the daily and the weekly line up. Both blobs of liquidity are around this range of $85,000 to $86,000. So it is most likely that Bitcoin does go down to about $85,000 or $86,000. It doesn't, it could be a few days, it could be a week or two or whatever, but it's most likely that we do go to the downside. Thank you for the likes on YouTube. I do appreciate it. How's it going, Lumai? Okay, so that's what that's doing. Let's go over and look and break down Bitcoin. So I entered a short on Bitcoin because you're below the daily 200-day moving average on the 4-hour time frame, and you're just in a downtrend. You have had 3 rejection points off of the top of this trend line. 1, which I don't like that color. 1, 2, and 3. You've been rejected off of the top of this trend line 3 times. You've had 2 touches of the bottom. So it's most likely that this trend continues to the downside. Right now, I would say if Bitcoin does not get above, I would say $91,200, I have to be bearish on the price of Bitcoin. So I'm in a short right now with a stop loss at 91,000. You could even say 91K. If you don't break 91K, you're bearish. You have to make a higher high than this high to be bullish. So right now, I'm bearish on the price of Bitcoin, and I see more downside on Bitcoin. And really, the next touch point to the downside, as of right now, would be about 85,000. So I would not be surprised at all. If Bitcoin can't get above 91,000, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we come and retest the support at 86,000. And then if you don't get, above, like maybe later on, 88K, then your next support to the downside is 82.2. I think at some point we're going to come down to 82,000. We'll see what happens. None of this is financial advice, but this is just what I see going on in the markets. So all of my positions right now, I'm in 4 different positions, I believe. I'm in a short on Bitcoin. I'm in a short on Litecoin. I'm in a short on Sui coin, and I'm in a short on Taio crypto. So I'm bearish on the market right now. I'm bearish on Bitcoin. Even though Bitcoin for the last 3 days has kind of been range bound between 89,000 and 91, I see more downside. And for the most of the last 3 days, you've been between 89 and 90,000. So we'll see what happens. But if I was a betting person, not really betting, if I was just a trading person, which I am, I would bet that you're going to come down to 86,000, and then if you don't hold that level, you're coming down eventually to 82,000. Now, that move could take a week or so, but maybe longer. But at some point, if you don't crack this high at 91K, I see 86 and then 82 being the next stops. I mean, you're making lower highs and lower lows, so that is just the most likely scenario is we come down and test some of these levels to the downside. If you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know in the comment section below and I'll look at them. But for right now, I will be honest. I see more downside for Bitcoin. It looks like we are going to take a tumble. So that's the 4-hour time frame. I can say this. The 4-hour time frame is trying to make a higher low. But if it gets oversold before it hits 87.2, that's good. But at the end of the day, I just see more downside. The 2-hour time frame is oversold. 1 hour is oversold. Those are all good signs. And maybe we probably go sideways for the next little bit here. Let me look at the 10-minute time frame. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I would say lack of volume. Obviously, it's the weekend. You look at the 6-hour time frame, that still has a long way to come down the RSI. 8-hour time frame never even got overbought. So we'll see what happens. I don't, it doesn't look fantastic. It doesn't look horrible. 3-day time frame. I don't know. It never got. Yeah, it only went to 94 out of 100. Anyways, so I'll just leave it at this. I see more downside on Bitcoin. I'm gonna, as long as you don't break 91, if this then that, if you don't break 91K, I see 80. The next support being 88K, being the next stop for Bitcoin, probably sometime before Tuesday. And that's only $1,000 lower, but we've been range bound between 89 and 90,000 for most of the last 3 days. So, yeah, to me, it would make sense for us to come lower to the downside. If you guys have a request for altcoins, let me know and I'll look at them. That breaks that Bitcoin down in a nutshell. Litecoin, I'm still looking for more downside on Litecoin. And the reason why is I look at the daily time frame and I see that the daily time frame on Litecoin had a crazy move down to $50. I have a take profit down there just above $50. But anytime, especially in altcoins that aren't really worth a lot, anytime you see a crazy scam wick to the downside, especially in a bear market, usually you go and fill that scam wick. Maybe not in a bull market, but in a bear market, I would say that's the case. Anytime you see a crazy scam wick, you usually go and fill it. Litecoin, we just did Litecoin. So the other one I was talking about was Tile. The Tile had a scale wick down to basically 132. So I have a take profit down at that level because I see it in due time, probably a bearish retest of $132 on Tile crypto. That could take another month to play out, but that is what I see going on. This short still is valid. And I think this week you take out 216, and maybe in a month or so you take out 132. I'm not bullish on Tile. It looks bearish to me. Sui.com, Sui Crypto, Scamwick down to 58 cents, 59 cents. I would be surprised if in the next 1 to 2 months you don't see him move back down to 59 cents for a bearish retest or double bottom. So really, on all three of those altcoins, I'm in the short because I see a scam wick, and usually in a bear market, you fill those wicks. And on all of those coins I just looked at, you're below the 4-hour 200-day moving average, which is bearish. So using the 200-day moving average, as well as these wicks, that's why I'm short. So I just don't like what I'm seeing on those coins. And I see more downside for all three of those altcoins. So that, yeah. This is another one I'm watching is Jelly Jelly. I'm not watching it that closely, but I have an eye on it. It's on my watch list. I don't see a scam wick on Jelly Jelly though. XMR, I don't see a scam wick on XMR. That's a good sign. The more bullish coins aren't going to have scam wicks. I don't think, at least. Shiba Inu had a scam wick down to 68, so you still, in my opinion, have a little more downside. But see, you almost made a double bottom there, but I think you're still going to take out this low because you did make a higher high here. So to me, at this point, that's a lower high, and I'd be surprised if. Now, here's the thing: if Shiba Inu loses 68, your next support to the downside is 50. So Shiba Inu looks very bearish to me. It looks like Shiba might go down to 5 and drop another 30-ish%. Pepe might get moved down to 28. That looks like the most likely scenario. So I see a lot of downside on a lot of these altcoins. I'm kind of a massive bear right now. Like this market looks like crap. It just does look. It looks bad. So we'll see what happens. But right now, this market looks like you are going to continue to fall to the downside, and it looks like, I appreciate if you guys hit the likes. It does help support the channel, and I can't believe this. Yeah, I don't know. I appreciate it. So Sui right now, yeah, I just see more downside on Sui. So I will, if you guys have any requests though, let me know, and I will look at them. But I see Sui getting more of a move to the downside to about 56 cents due to that wick. You're below the daily 200. You're below the 4-hour 200. So I don't see a lot going right for Sui. And I'm in a short on Sui from literally $1.50. I've been in it for a few days now. And I'm just playing the daily time frame. And at this point, this is also like a bear flag. And I would just go from the last time it was overbought, which was right here. And this suggests you're going to even take out the scan wick low and go down to... Never mind, that can't happen. Well, that's not going to happen because that'd be a negative number. So let me see if I can get a better target for you. Maybe this move is invalidated because that would be a negative number. Yeah, that can't happen. Okay, so that bear flag might not play out, but I still think you're going to come down to 54 cents on SUI crypto. I think we're a long ways away from the bull market resuming. I think we're going to see a lot more downside before we see upside on the market. I think we have another year before the bull market resumes, but this would be when I would be accumulating altcoins. Not altcoins. This would be when I would be accumulating Bitcoin. I would not touch altcoins right now. I see a lot more downside on a lot of altcoins. And if I held any altcoin in the next bull market, it'd be Solana. But right now, I don't even think I'd buy Solana. We can go look at Solana really quickly because I haven't looked at Solana in a while. But I see Solana short-term going down to $95. That's in a bear flag on the daily time frame, below the daily 200. It's extremely likely, the trend's your friend till the end. It's extremely likely that you go down to about $95 on Solana. Guys, I appreciate if you guys hit the likes. It does help support the channel. I cannot believe the lack of people here. I get we're in a bear market, but it still surprises me. So anyways, that's I see the market going down. Bitcoin's trying for the last few days to lose 89,000, and we're really struggling, which means it's a very strong support here, 89,000. But I'm going to make that very thick, and that will... So the thicker the line, that means the support is stronger. But at the end of the day... Wait, I did the wrong line. That's 88, that's 88K. So 89,000 is very strong support for Bitcoin right now. So I'll make that very thick. And I'd be surprised at this point, though, if you hold 89,000. I still think we're going to lose it. Come down to 88K and then probably 86,000. And just kind of follow this trend line here that I have drawn on the Bitcoin chart. So, yeah, the market looks bad, and I don't know what else to say, man. I don't see any other requests. So, with that being said, that's kind of everything I wanted to go over today. I see the market just continuing to the downside. One other thing I can look at before I get out of here would be Bitcoin dominance. This kind of shows you, if this chart is going down, that means that altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin, or they're stronger versus Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin dominance is at 60%. Daily time frame is struggling, and it's overbought on the daily time frame. So I would be honest with you. Let me jump down to the 4-hour time frame. We'll see what happens. Now the 4 hours trying to get over, so I don't know. That's kind of giving me mixed signals because the daily time frame looks like that's a rising wedge that wants to break lower, but then you go down to the 4-hour time frame and that looks like it's going to pump. So actually, you know what I see? I see Bitcoin down is probably getting another move to the upside, which means that if anything that's going to do well in the next few months, it's going to be Bitcoin. And altcoins are going to continue to bleed out. So this is an ascending triangle. These break up 68% of the time. And this suggests you're going to get a move to 61%. If this happens, Bitcoin is probably going to go sideways or slightly down at most. And altcoins are going to get probably burned. So I could be wrong, but you're above the 12-hour 200. You're above the 4-hour 200. So to me, and you're now just making the same highs while making higher lows. That's an ascending triangle. This suggests that Bitcoin is going to do pretty good compared to altcoins, which means, not financial advice, but this suggests that you should not be in altcoins right now. So I can't tell you what to do with your money, but I'm just telling you, it looks like this suggests that altcoins are going to get annihilated in the next few weeks and months. So that includes SUI, that includes Pepe, that includes Shiba Inu, and every other one that you can think of. Litecoin, Tau, like all of these, I would suggest would probably get a massive beating. And Bitcoin, it doesn't suggest, this chart doesn't suggest that Bitcoin's going to go up, but maybe it suggests Bitcoin goes down 1%, altcoins go down 10%. That's what it means. So we'll see what happens. I don't, It looks like either way. It looks like even if Bitcoin bleeds to the downside, it's gonna do better than altcoins. Like Bitcoin could go down 10%, but altcoins could go down 50%, and that's why this chart's going up. This chart just means that Bitcoin will take less damage than the rest of the market in the coming weeks and months. That's just what that chart means. It doesn't mean we're pumping. It means that the damage will be minimalized percentage-wise compared to altcoins. Thank you for the likes on TikTok. I appreciate it. Bitcoin dropping and altcoins dropping simultaneously can happen as well. Yeah, that's what I just said. Maybe you commented that before I saw it, but yeah, that's exactly what. Yeah, Bitcoin could go down 10%. Altcoins could go down 40%. This chart would still go up because Bitcoin is outperforming altcoins, even if it's in a downtrend. So that is Bitcoin dominance in a nutshell, and that's something I don't talk about very often, but I probably should talk about at least a few times a month because it is something interesting to look at. Maybe it's something I should start going over every live stream. But, yeah. Thank you, the Hazy Juice, for the follow. I appreciate it. So, yeah, that's what I see going on. I see more downside for Bitcoin. Bitcoin finally losing, once again, 89,000. The real question is, can we eventually lose 87? Again, I'm sure on the following assets. Bitcoin is a big one. I'm short on TAO. T-A-O. Litecoin is the third one. And then the fourth one is SUI, S-U-I. All of these charts look bearish to me. And if you want to know things I'm long on, the stock market in general, sure. But silver and gold, I'm long on silver and gold. So crypto, I'm very bearish on. I think we're in a bear market for another 11 months or so. But that doesn't mean the entire world market I'm bearish on. So, I mean, gold is going crazy. It's at all-time highs. So, at some point, you should be taking profits. But right now, I see more upside. Like, it's absolutely going parabolic. You look at silver. Silver's going crazy. And I do own both. Not a lot, hardly any to be honest, but I do own both. A few thousand, maybe $1,000 of both. It's not much, but I do own both. So yeah, I see both continuing to the upside. Now at this point, it's kind of hard to get targets of where you can really go on either asset because you're all-time highs with no price action. You're in price discovery on silver and gold. So I can't tell you, hey, the next target's 110, but it does, so at some point you're going to need to pull back. So, this would be the point if you are in heavy. If I was in heavier in these assets, I'd be taking profits right now. I'm not. So I'm just going to ride it for the next few years. But I see silver probably, at some point getting a pullback. Anyways, I'm going to do XRP and then I am going to go to bed. Because, again, I'm just getting over a cold. I have a long day tomorrow for work. So let's look at XRP, though. XRP right now is below the 4-hour 200. That's not a good sign, for me at least. I mean, it's a good sign if you want to short it. And I'm telling you right now, of any time over the last month, I think this could be the week that we could see a lot of shorts pay out. Especially in altcoins. Because Bitcoin dominance looks the way it does, while Bitcoin still looks bearish. So anyways, I see XRP getting a measure move to $1.56. Daily's below the 200. So I see more downside. I see downside to probably at some point $1.27 being the target, taking out this wick here. In a bear market, usually the altcoins take out these scam wicks. Just give it time, and it's going to probably happen. That's my update, guys, on XRP. Thank you for the request. I can't tell you what to do. I don't know what you're holding. It depends what you're holding. If you're down a lot, I don't know, man. I would probably keep holding, but if you're at break-even or in the profits, I would probably sell. It depends on what you're asking me for. I don't know if you're asking about Bitcoin, altcoins, or what. So I can't give you advice without knowing more. But I will say, I see downside for this week for crypto. I mean, Bitcoin dominance is going up, while Bitcoin is looking bearish to me, and altcoins look horrible. So I think we could see a bloodbath in the month of January? So going to February. By the way, though, it's interesting to me that we do have a full moon coming up. And while we have a full moon coming up, Bitcoin looks extremely bearish. So we'll see. Maybe we don't dump as much as I think we will. But with a full moon coming up, I can't believe how bad the markets look. It's interesting. So if you want to look at mood phases, so the last one was on the 3rd. That can't be right. Oh, no, the last one was on the 18th. So I guess we're still a week away from a full moon. So we could have a week more of downside and then a pump next week. That's probably the most likely scenario. Because the last one was on the 18th. So, well, actually, that means a full moon would be tomorrow, I think. Or later today. Interesting. I don't know. Right now, I will say this. The charts look bearish, and I see more downside for Bitcoin. I would say Pepe's definitely not going to hit 10 billion this year. Now, I don't know what the market cap is right now. This is TradingView. Uh-oh. My microphone dropped. Let me go look at Pepe, though. What's the market cap of Pepe right now? I have no idea. Okay, so this looks bearish to me. Like, you're going to probably take out the SWIC down here, down at 29. You're below the daily 200, you're below the 4-hour 200, and the trend's your friend to hit the end. You had a nice pump here from all the way from 40 all the way up to 71, 50% pump. Now you're giving it all back, and when you go up that fast, it's not sustainable. So I'd be surprised if you don't come down here to this level at 28 or 29 and drop another 50% from the current price. You're in a bear market on Pepe, and I would expect nothing more than more downside. Do you think Bitcoin 88 then back to 92? No, I don't. If you rewatch my stream on YouTube, Crypto Andrew 333, you can see what I said about Bitcoin, but I see more downside right now for Bitcoin. What do I think about Order USDT? Well, if it's another altcoin, I probably don't think it's going to do well. But you're not below the 4-hour 200, but you're basically, no, you technically are, but barely. You're probably below the daily 200, although there's no data to show that. You're below the 12-hour 200, so I have no clue what the scam is, but I can clearly tell you it's a scam. There's a lack of volume. I can see that in the chart. And so, yeah, that's kind of what I thought I would be watching, but I didn't. This looks pretty bad. These wicks are ridiculous. So, obviously, you're that far away from that. I'm just going to delete that resistance. I want this to be a clear chart. So, I would say your next support is 77.2 cents. Next resistance is 9.7. Otherwise, above that, you're at 15.5. And actually, I would say even like right here, be your next resistance would be 11.5. These do not need to be this thick. So, I don't know what this is, but it looks awful. You're below the 12-hour 200. You're below the 4-hour 200, basically. So, I would say this. If you do not reclaim 9.731, I see the next target being this low at 77.2, or maybe it's 7.3, 73.5. So if you don't reclaim 9.7, I see 73.5 coming. I have no clue where you trade this at, but that's my update on Order, whatever this is. Now, that doesn't mean it's a bad thing to trade. I mean, if you're willing to short this, it would actually be a pretty good thing to trade. So I can't tell you what to do, man. I would probably not touch this just yet, but if I did anything, if I wanted to do anything, it'd be a short. So that's my update on Order USDT, which I've never heard of until right now. But I see more downside coming for Order USDT. Thank you for the 900 likes on TikTok. That's why I shorted. Hey, good for you. I just looked at Bitcoin Dominance. I'm not going to relook. If you want to go rewatch the video, go to my YouTube channel. So with that being said, guys, I am going to skedaddle. Thank you guys for joining. I guess we ended up getting a few people here on TikTok. So anyways, that's my update. I'm bearish on Bitcoin. I see more downside for Bitcoin down to certain levels that I already talked about. I don't know where the magnet for my little microphone went. Oh, no, I found it. Okay. Well, I'll be back live. Hold on. Let me check my schedule for Tuesday. I will be back live Tuesday. Now, let me check my schedule to tell you what time I'll be back live on Tuesday. Tuesday! I will be live at the normal time, probably. I plan to be live, I would say, at 9 p.m. Central Time on Tuesday. So in the same time as I was live today, so that's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So in 71 and a half hours, I'll be live again. Yeah, and that's my update for the market. Thank you guys for joining. I'll see you guys in the next one. And appreciate if you guys hit the like and subscribe on YouTube and hit the bell notification on YouTube if you're watching YouTube. I do appreciate that. That way you get notified every time I go live.